Today is 10th of September and it's Suicide Prevention Awareness Day. I'm joined today by Lynette and Summer Harvey, and they've got a story to tell. They are Rugeley residents, and we're here today to have a little chat about it and to see what they're doing in terms of, as a family, to bring Kai, their son and brother, I should say, his memory and keep his memory going. So over to you, Lynette.
Hello, and thanks for having me on.
It's all right.
So yeah, we lost Kai in February 2020.
Yeah.
17 years old. He had his struggles right from being little, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was a very unique character, shall we say. Never in my wildest dreams thought it would come to this.
No.
Never, ever. He was very much the opposite. He was very anti-suicide and kind of very much against it. So obviously, for him to make the decision he did, he must have been so desperate. We did take him to the doctors, followed the usual protocol, had him referred to different services. He didn't find any of them very helpful. He felt he wasn't listened to very much. And then and I think one of the hardest things to accept was on the night he made that decision. He was in a good mood. He left the house. He was happy. He was making jokes about us ironing his clothes because the tumble dryer was broken. I couldn't get his jeans dry. So I actually felt, because he's a young lad, you worry about him if they're out and about on a weekend. But on that night, I felt actually like a bit of a relief. Like he was going out in a good mood. He was just going to meet friends, and then obviously started getting messages from his friends later in the night saying something's not quite right. Still did not for a second imagine. I just thought he's obviously having a bit of one of his down moments or whatever. Went and picked him up, made him, he asked for a bacon sandwich, made him a bacon sandwich, and then went to give him the sandwich, and that's when I found him.
So obviously, Summer, baby brother, was it? Is that your baby brother, or you're the youngest?
No, I'm the
aren't you?
youngest, yeah.
So you're one of three girls, yeah?
Yeah.
And there was three girls and Kai. So from your perspective, obviously...
Oh yeah, one
sorry.
of four, sorry.
Sorry, start again, Liz.
It's alright, I can edit
You're
it.
one of four girls,
Yeah.
and obviously there was Kai.
Yeah.
So everybody knows about the Harveys, let's face it, in terms of your kickboxing and all of that, because you are world famous now, which is amazing. So where are you going to go with all of this, with your mum and your sisters and trying to remember Kai? What is it that you're planning as a family?
It's the walk, isn't it?
We've got the walk coming up first.
Okay. So is there anything you'd like, and we'll cut all this and we'll chop it up. So in terms of what you'd like to say, you don't have to say anything, Summer. I'm not putting you on the spot.
No.
Is there anything that you'd like to say about what your mum's just talked to us about, or anything like that?
It was different for me, wasn't it? Because I wasn't in the country at the time. I was at a kickboxing competition with my dad in Greece, so I didn't really experience it the way everyone else did. I was a bit more like kept behind it all.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think in a way I'm kind of happy it went about the way it did, because like being in the situation at the hospital, I can see how what happened at the house affected everyone else so badly, and obviously I'm glad that I wasn't there to kind of experience it. But yeah.
Okay. So we're 4 years on now. Pain doesn't get any easier, I know
No,
that.
never.
But in terms of what you and your sisters and your mum and your dad are trying to do, and trying to create a legacy for him, to get the message out to other young people in the same position, is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. I just think it needs to be more like spoken about, because it isn't very especially for young people, I just think it isn't recognised as enough as it should be, because it's a lot more common than how it was, and I just think everyone should recognise it a bit more.
Okay, so that then brings us on to what you're doing about it. So you came along and talked to me, and then you've just completely grabbed it and ran with it. So
the 20th of September we are doing a memory walk called Kai's Memory Miles. It's roughly about 3 miles, starting in Rugeley's Mindfulness Garden. and then up through the Heritage Trail, through Slitton Mill, down Rugeley Road, and then back into the Mindfulness Garden. We'll have some SOBS volunteers on hand on the day should anybody want to have a chat.
Explain what SOBS is.
So SOBS is a volunteer-run charity for emotional and physical support. It's not a counselling service, it's a support service.
Yep.
Anybody of the volunteers who are volunteer for SOBS have all suffered a bereavement by suicide, so we're all in the same horrible gang, so to speak. So everybody gets it. You can speak freely without judgment. They've been a huge support for myself and others, hence why I myself trained to be
I was going to say,
a
you're
SOBS
now
volunteer. I am, yes, I have.
Yeah.
My own group alongside a gentleman called Steve in Cannock, so we are running the new Cannock branch, which sounds a bit crazy to say it is going really well, because obviously we would wish it wasn't and we didn't have any members, but it's good to know that people know we are there. People are beginning to reach out and feel like they're not on their own, because I think at times, because there's such a taboo around suicide, people are kind of frightened to speak about it. Or I even find with myself, you can kind of say other people are uncomfortable to speak about how Kai died. I'm not.
No.
He was ill, and that's just the way it is, like any other illness, whether it be physical or mental. So yeah, we just want to bring people together who, even if you haven't necessarily lost someone by suicide, but you or somebody around you is struggling with mental health, or you just feel like you yourself need a little bit of support, everybody's welcome. Everybody can come along and join in. It will give as much support as we can on the day, whether it just be a chat, whether it's just joining in with the walk, however you feel you need that support. Hopefully we can offer some on the day, and if we reach even just one person,
absolutely,
it prevents going through what we are, well then.
So this is
we've
the
achieved
inaugural
something.
one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lynette? This
Yeah.
is the inaugural, it's the very first one.
Yeah.
What's after that? What are you planning going forward?
So this will be an annual event.
Right.
I do plan, I have a friend in the North East who actually I got the idea from. She's been doing this, I think, for about 11 years now. She lost her dad to suicide.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work for suicide. And then I became friendly with a lady in America who lost her brother to suicide. She does a lot of campaigning there. She spoke about Kai in her local, like, I think it's like a local town hall. I think they do it a bit differently here, but she does marathons and walks, dedicates a mile to different people. She also now does her own walk at the same time, so all three events coincide at the same time. So collectively, so not just for Rugeley, but nationally and internationally, hopefully the more people will reach, the better it is worldwide, not just for us.
Because I know that Kai was really popular, he got lots of friends. Obviously he went to the local heart school, or he did, she just finished. So we all want to get behind you, Lynette. It's as simple as that. So I know that the people of Rugeley, particularly, I know that you've started all your social media campaign today on this day because of what it is. If there's anything at all that anybody needs to reach out to you, can they do that via social media with you?
Absolutely.
So if we put your something on the bottom, they can contact you, or
Absolutely.
SOBS.
Or SOBS, if anybody feels they need support with the loss of a suicide, please reach out to SOBS. We have groups in many different areas, but locally we have a fantastic group, very helpful, so please reach out to them as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was really good.